Welcome back to iGB Affiliate London. I'm here with Ian Sims from Rightlander. Welcome, Ian. There's been a lot of talk about how the gambling industry has to change if it's to avoid more regulatory clampdowns. How, in your view, will strategies evolve as a result of increasingly stringent regulatory controls on marketing and advertising?
I think the key thing with affiliates, I don't think regulated into extinction is necessarily on the agenda. I think it's more a question of coping with the regulation that's currently being marketed, particularly in the UK, obviously, if that's a market you work in. And when you go into new markets, of course, I think it's being compliant when you go in from day one is very, very important. A lot of the new markets in particular still haven't really formulated what's going to happen. And I think it's very important that there will come a time, basically, when an affiliate and an operator has to show that they're being compliant. And having a little bit of a history behind you is obviously going to help that. I think if you can survive the current landscape and you can get through compliance as it stands at the moment, then I think there's a very reasonable chance a lot of your competitors won't. So you'll come out the other side with a much stronger sort of offering and probably better rankings and a chance to really make something of the business. But I think you've got to ride the bumps and the waves that are currently ongoing.
Will affiliate marketing become as much of a country business as B2C gambling has?
Yeah, I think there is a very realistic possibility that could happen in certain areas. But a lot of affiliates depend on rankings in certain countries right now. So from an affiliate perspective, having a single domain .com and then dividing that down into sort of EN and FR and various territories is the way that it's gone so far. I think from looking at it from a compliance perspective, when we're looking at how affiliates do this, we obviously have to take into account there could be different languages on different sites. And the more I see of that, the more I think that potentially going forward that isn't the answer. I think there will be countries that insist, for example, as in Spain, where you have to direct traffic to .es domain operators. I think there will come a time when affiliates will benefit from that themselves. We actually get quite a few requests from clients asking us to look for affiliates that are promoting operators, for example, in Holland on Dutch language sites and .nl sites. So clearly at the moment, you don't want to be doing a .nl in Holland. But that could easily turn around. That could easily, once they've got regulation, taxation and everything sorted out, they could easily flip that on its head and say that's all you do. A bit like kind of Spain are intimating they might.
As operators find themselves squeezed out of above-the-line channels such as TV, does this mean they will increasingly encroach on affiliates' turf? Or considering affiliates' digital marketing expertise, does this create more opportunities?
A lot of operators have been running affiliate sites for quite a long time. A number of operators have bought affiliate sites and continue to do so. A lot hide it away in the background, and some are pretty obvious. So I don't think that's anything new. And I think a lot of that stems from the fact that there's actually, it makes business sense to do that for a lot of operators. There's always been, I was an affiliate for 12 years, and there's always been some operators that do affiliate marketing because they feel they have to. And I think actually if you look forward, the affiliates are actually a regulated operator's best army. If they lose those affiliates and stop working with those affiliates or piss them off, then those affiliates are going to go and work with grey market operators. And what that does, if they've got good Google rankings, is threatens regulation in a particular country. I've played at grey market operators. A lot of them are very, very good. They're equally as good. Some are even better than UK market operators. So a lot of people need to think about that.
How, in your view, will strategies evolve as a result of increasingly stringent regulatory controls on marketing and advertising? And we look at Italy, effectively now limits marketing to informational offerings for affiliates. Do you think that could become the norm elsewhere?
Not necessarily the norm. I think Italy have been particularly strict on this, and they've said that you can't promote an operator, but you can talk about them in more of a factual context. And I haven't seen that in any other territory yet, although I certainly wouldn't rule out other territories going that route. Italy's been through kind of a series of decrees, and every time something changes and it gets stricter, and I think this year there's political upheaval due as well, so it could well change again. And so I think they're a little bit of an exception to the rule. So if I was back being an affiliate right now looking at these territories, I wouldn't be overly bothered about that. What concerns me a little bit more is the bonus culture that maybe has been prevalent in our industry and the way that's being tackled. And Sweden in particular, for example, have said you can only offer one bonus to a player from an operator perspective. But to me, that's a bit like saying bonuses are okay, when I think a better tack might have been to actually say you can't have bonuses up front, But once you've got loyal players, you can incentivize them a little bit, with controls, obviously. Because I think educating the industry in general that bonuses are not a good thing will protect regulated territories from grey market operators. Most players will understand, experienced players will understand, a bonus is not generally an advantage to a player anymore. It's very rare for that to happen. And I think there's a good opportunity for people to take advantage of that. Players will jump on board with that, I think. And if you can wipe the bonus culture out of our industry, it becomes a much, much easier place to work in. And you probably get a better standard of player as well, because you're not preying on human greed anymore. You're playing on the experience. So I think, I'm not saying it would happen overnight and it would work immediately, but I think education in that sector would be the way to go.